was rolling down the hill. Fuck.
I know. This is gonna be rough. Oh no! Get in, get in!
Oh no! It didn't let me get in!
Oh damn no! Get in, no one! Oh, we got sniped! I promise you I'll drive this motherfucker through the goddamn shit! Yeah!
Bro, you actually got out of that, which is ridiculous.
Popeyes will deliver your food and leave it on your doorstep.
I really don't care.
3 up
And
there.
stole it. Give my money back.
He's gonna revive his friend. Oh! There's one right there.
I hope you're not all on the same team. Are you guys on the same team?
They all just left again.
What kind of squad wipe was that? I'm seeing a lot of people talk about all sorts of different shit, like, you know, what are you guys playing? Are you guys playing solo versus trios and stuff like that? And a lot of people are really just saying, hey man, I'm just playing trios. Like, and solos came out, it was cool and everything, but it is a fucking camp fest. And I mean, given trios is also a camp fest, it's just that you got 2 other people with you so you can all deal with the camping as is in a different way, I guess. In solos, it's like a shield versus a sword. One could win over the other, but it's very likely that the shield can just block the sword, right? Unless the sword is skilled enough to, you know, get past said shield and kill the player. Trios, it's like a fucking fortress versus a fucking artillery strike. Almost literally sometimes. So you kind of pick your poison of like, hey, would I rather like be the fucking cannon and try to blow up this fortress where there's 3 people that set up like 4 fucking proximity mines, 2 claymores, they got their thermal HDR sniping across the map with the safety beneath them, only 1 way up. A lot of people have just been saying like, dude, I like playing trios a little bit more because at least when I'm dealing with the campers, you know, I can have my teammates to kind of fall back on and, you know, have all, basically, it's just more fun. Also, I want to explain the meta at the moment, that everything that's happening at the moment, especially in solos. I see a lot of people talking about trios and what the meta is and all that other shit, but in solos, there's a very, very interesting concept going on at the moment. So, everybody knows that cold-blooded is probably one of the most required things in this entire class. The most used ones that you'll see in Warzone anyway is maybe double time, EOD, and mainly cold-blooded. Scavenger, I don't see it very often. Kill chain, I don't see that very often, or quick fix. I did mess around with quick fix for a little bit, but it doesn't help enough. It'll start immediate health regeneration, but that doesn't always help considering some people end up going frangible wounding, where I don't know how that interacts with, you know, quick fix or anything like that, but, and also everybody's just using thermals. So everybody just goes with cold-blooded. Why are you this way? Why are you the way that you are? Delicate balance that's happening at the moment. I don't know how else to explain it, but with the amount of people that are using thermals, a lot of people are using cold-blooded. But vehicles, including in Blackout, since I didn't play it very much, vehicles are very, very powerful. And you would notice that from other BRs as well, like H1Z1. Vehicles were very, very powerful there as well. So the meta is basically hard rushing people with vehicles, preferably the big fucking truck, because there's nothing you can do about it. Which is why you saw me, you know, running around and running people over, quite literally just running people over for the sake of it, because it's like just the most efficient way to go about it. You don't use any ammo, you don't put yourself at risk most of the time unless the person is a decent shot. Class setup I've been running is a souped up ass MP7 because it feels great on this mode. It shreds, it does a shit ton of damage. I liked it in multiplayer, but it always felt like the MP5 was just better. But in this mode, I really like it personally. I don't think the MP5 is bad or anything like that. Definitely not bad. Yeah, so this is a class setup I've been running. This MP7 with all the attachments, cold-blooded, ghost, heartbeat sensor, all the typical shit. You notice, yeah, Jev, really? RPG secondary. That's pretty fucking toxic. So like I mentioned about the vehicles, a lot of people are using these vehicles. If you have an RPG secondary, it will make it so basically you need to have at least the armored truck to deal with me. If you're gonna try to bully me, because that's what a lot of people do, they try to bully you with all of the vehicles. They just try to push you around the map, push you to wherever they want you to go, corral you into a certain area because you're afraid of getting ran over, and shoot them out of the goddamn driver's side because it's just, I don't know, it's incredibly hard for whatever reason. Especially in that armored truck. It is so so hard to shoot people out of it. I've killed people with throwing knives off of mongooses and rovers and shit like that, but when it comes to that Jeep and comes to that other shit, you're very, very protected. It's very, very safe. So a lot of people use their vehicles, and when they use their vehicles, you need to have a way to deal with those people that are abusing those vehicles. So I said, man, fuck it. I'm gonna just run an RPG secondary. RPG in particular, not the Pila, just because the RPG can, you know, fire a little bit faster, so... What the fuck? You want to shoot rockets? Okay.
The enemy took that one. We'll be back to finish the job.
Okay. That's, okay. Sorry, I'm gonna have to spectate now. Just using the fucking grenade launcher. I tried using it, I got shit on. So this guy blew me the fuck up, somehow was able to avoid taking any damage from my RPG. Then he thought, I know he's going to come back, so I'm going to set a C4 on the helipad, so when he takes off, it's going to kill him. There's just no reason for me to believe that he thought that I would come directly back. It's just straight fucking outplation at the moment, but honestly, there is some janky ass shit going on with those explosives. I'm not going to be able to sleep correctly otherwise. I'm going to think about it. Meta, basically, right there, as you can see, where you're using grenade launchers and explosives and stuff, vehicles will stay away from you now. Having that RPG in your pocket basically makes it so people can't bully you with vehicles and stuff, because that's what a lot of people do. This game has big H1Z1 vibes in the sense of, like, you know, just jump in your fucking Jeep, drive around, run people over, run into people as soon as you see people, go after them. And now it's also turning into a thing now where multiple people are running RPGs, so now it's kind of got this toss-up. Oh, here we go. I mean, see? People with vehicles, they just drive in with no fucking fear. Given you gotta get lucky enough to get a fucking, you know, a grenade launcher. You come across a truck with an RPG, it still takes like 2 to 3 RPGs to take it out. But usually when you hit them with one rocket, they're pretty done. Guy plays on like 4 sensitivity. Maybe I should spend a day playing on like this weirdo, super low sensitivity, just to never miss a bullet ever. So now there's a lot of people that are straight up RPGing each other. People are asking like, oh, dude, you seriously just ran people over and then thirsted them with an RPG? It's like, listen, solos are brutal. This fucking explosive shit is ridiculous. He could just go buy a munitions box, but I don't know if that refills his grenade launcher or not. If it does, that's a super good drop. It's so strong. Okay, now everybody's running, you know, RPGs and stuff. Should maybe I use, you know, EOD? But then you get fucked by thermals again. So now there's this balance of running into a bunch of different players that are A, want to abuse vehicles and shit and just use cold-blooded or EOD or something like that. But you can't really deal with the RPGs unless you want to get shot by thermals. So you pick your poison, basically. But for the ultra aggressive playstyle, yeah, it's SMG to RPG. That's the aggressive playstyle that all of the highest, you know, ranked people are using and shit. A lot of the higher ranked people anyway. Obviously, there's a lot of, you know, differences out there. People are building their classes different, their MP7's different. Some people are just using different weapons in general. Some people use Pila or whatever. But in solos, that's just what's happening, at least in my experience. See how hard he hangs onto this vehicle? Exactly. And now there's 2 other people driving, 3 other people driving their vehicles at the moment. This is a state of solos. Pick your fucking poison. Trying to get him to jump out or create some separation so he can just start shooting it at him, but I don't know if this guy's gonna, no, he let him. Now he's gonna back up, go and buy at this buy station, and he's gonna go get a munitions box and then fill up his launcher. Guaranteed. There it is. I'm telling you, it's the meta, and he has 7 shots again. As his UAV, just standing still, doesn't give a fuck, probably self-revive or some shit like that on top of it, and he's just gonna drive around in safety. That's what you do. You know what? This guy's actually pretty fucking good. Hey, Infinity Ward, if you want it to change, you guys are gonna have to do something to these vehicles, man. Make this truck a lot less tanky. Let it take like 1 or 2 less fucking rockets. Maybe allow bullets to do more damage to vehicles or something. Especially the truck. I think the Jeeps and other things like that are okay, but the truck is just ridiculous. Nerf this fucking truck, please. It's so good. Guy looking at him, taking shots into the window, hits him a couple times, but it won't really matter. He misses, jumps out, challenges him, and gets fucking owned. Yeah, that was a perfect example. I'm so happy that guy fucking killed me, actually. I showed you guys. It's something else. If you didn't have it explained to you in any way, shape, or form, yeah, it looks super toxic. But it's the only way that you can fucking deal with it. It just is. The amount of times where I've ran an overkill class or just had something with like two nice, you know, a primary and a second primary, you know, fucking M4 to sniper rifle, or when you get hit with a rocket randomly in the middle of all that, when you think you're all souped up, it doesn't fucking matter. That right there is probably part of the reason why people are worried about, you know, playing solos and shit like that. On top of the fact that obviously it's a lot more fun to play with your friends. Why is it that other BRs, the solo play was like a very big thing for a long time, but solos came out on this? I wouldn't say that they're not successful. No, I definitely get in the lobbies, but maybe the lack of the separation in leaderboards and stuff like that to let you know whether or not, you know, you even have this some odd amount of wins in solos versus trios and shit like that. A lot of people are just padding their stats in trios, trying to get as many kills as possible and shit to be up really high on the leaderboard. Seems like trios has a lot more going on just because there's obviously more players to fight and shit. I don't know. Yeah, I don't want to fucking play anymore. That's the state of solos. I'm gonna go and do a couple things around the fucking house. I don't really give a shit how long this video is. Got fucking outplayed, and I'm gonna retire for the day.